Morning, guys.
Morning.
Ray, tell us how everybody is this morning.
Fighting frog there.
Pond full of flies? Good. So this morning, guys, HOC process. Gary, what's the HOC process? What does HOC stand for?
Holocaust.
Thank you, Gary. So, walk me through that process, John. If you're at a stop and the container's blocked and or the container's empty, first thing you do is call. If you can't find somebody to get the vehicle moved, then you call dispatch to have them get a hold of them to see if it can be moved. If they cannot get a hold of somebody, they will tell you to take a picture of it and to move on. Before you move on, the last button you push will be service, not no service. Because if you push no service, it shows that you weren't even there. So it gives you two options. One is which, Ray?
Service, no service.
Okay, that's both of them, thank you. So, I'm getting a rash of negative hauler calls, and as I research them, what I'm finding out is it's because we're not pushing the service. So,
We need to get together with dispatch because they're the ones telling us what to push.
Yeah.
They told me to push in, you put the exception in, you take the picture, and I said, now what do I push, service or no service? She goes, you push no service.
okay, and I appreciate that, Dave, and I will absolutely do that, okay? I'm not accusing you guys, I'm not saying anything, we're just going through the process. Because when we get the negative hauler calls, what happens, guys, is in the morning, Pete gets rated on that. So I run a quality of service report every morning and report out on that. And when we have those, we have to answer to them and do root cause and whatnot, and Pete gets grilled as well for it. So if there's something we can do to prevent it, you know, if it's as easy as pressing the service or no service, we want to do that. I will relay that back to dispatch though. But as John said, let's go through it. You know, take me through it one more time, Marvin. What is our process with that? You're at a stop and it's blocked or it's empty. What's the process?
You press actually go inside, see if I can get somebody.
Okay.
If you can't, then I call dispatch. But you know, you had told me before that if it's you know, even if it's empty, why you have to press service.
Correct.
Same if you shut your cell phone off all month, they're still going to bill you for it.
Correct. So and what it is that you guys are there, you want credit for it. That customer is paying for that, and you're there doing your job. So you want credit for it. Dave, I will take that up, again, I will take that up with dispatch, but we always, when we've exhausted everything else and called dispatch, taking a picture, and we're told to move on, we're still servicing the container. That's what we're there to do.
And then that Sierra dispatch, if that Sierra answers the phone, you might as well hang up.
Okay, guys, we'll talk about that, and I'll talk with dispatch about that, but that's not for this launch. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, and one more thing before we hit the road, guys, today. 12-hour logs. Who's responsible for 12-hour logs?
The driver.
Okay, so if you hold a commercial driver's license, who's responsible for 12-hour logs?
Drivers.
When are those supposed to be filled out?
That day or at morning.
Okay. Charlene came to me and said there's still some out there, and I know Charlene is very kind about giving you guys the paperwork and the information to fill them out. If you owe some 12-hour logs, please get them taken care of by end of business today. Because again, what's the implication to your driver's license and to the company if we're not properly filling out our 12-hour logs? What can happen? What else can they do to the company?
Fine, item.
Okay. Do you suppose you're going to retain your job if we get a fine for a 12-hour log? What?
Suspended or fired?
Well, what process do you think is going to start at that point?
Talking to you.
Well, yeah, that's where it's going to start, George. No, it doesn't. We'll have a conversation, but just, is everybody clear on whose responsibility 12-hour logs are? Okay. And just for fun, what's the easiest way not to have to fill out a 12-hour log?
Don't over 12 hours.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So with the exception, guys, of some roll-off routes when we're really busy, or with the exception of having a breakdown, none of our routes are geared over 12 hours, are they?
My Thursday route is, if you take a lunch,
Okay,
I'm
so
screwed.
Marvin, we'll get into that conversation, but my next question is gonna be, what can we do to fix that? So, and we'll have that conversation, okay? I heard you this morning, and we will, so. Again, guys, HOC process, one more time. Take me through it.
Come up to the, wherever you're gonna be in the block, or overloaded like mine was yesterday. I called dispatch, I took a picture. I didn't go in the building because it was too big for me to even, the big pallets,
Right.
huge. And it was way overloaded, so I took a picture, called dispatch, and went on my way.
Thank you. So, then we pressed what? Okay, 12-hour logs, who is responsible and when are they to be turned in?
With your picture right that night.
All right, thanks, guys, let's have a great and safe day.